It is quite significant because it's an opportunity for leaders of political parties as well as independent candidates to publicly pledge their commitment to observe the provisions of the Code of Conduct. Of course, they are bound by the Code of Conduct by operation of law, because on the date on which elections are proclaimed, the Code of Conduct takes effect on the day and is binding on all participants, including leaders of political parties, the candidates, as well as supporters and ordinary folk in the country.
Now, can you take us through some of those very important rules?
Well, importantly, is to give your institution, the media, respect the role that the media plays in an election, the dissemination of information, which is crucial for the vindication of other rights, because you need information to be able to vindicate other rights that you may have even within the electoral sphere. Respecting the instructions of the Electoral Commission, of course, the lawful instructions of the Electoral Commission, not impersonating people and not disseminating false information and those types of things. Those are some of the key elements of the Code of Conduct.
Then the rule on parties and candidates accepting the results or challenging them in court is one that many would say is quite important. It seems quite straightforward, but I suppose clarity can always be sought here, because post-results, or when results start to trickle in, there have been instances where parties in previous years would not entirely be accepting of the results or feeling that they were accurate. They would then hold impromptu briefings indicating such without necessarily stating that they'd be heading to court. Would that still be considered to be acting in accordance with the Code of Conduct here?
Well, first of all, we believe that all those who are contesting these elections will have an understanding that they may win the elections or they may not be successful. I think that's the reality of competition in any sphere of life. Therefore, it is important that they go into this contest on that basis, accepting that they may be successful or not successful. But that if they are not successful, they've got to accept the outcomes, because what the Commission will be presenting to South Africans by way of results is what the South African voter would have said. But however, our system has what we call electoral justice. In other words, having an ability to review the decisions of the Commission where you think there was malfeasance. Hence, the Code of Conduct says, accept the result, or if not happy with them, take them to the next level, which is the judicial forum for vindicating electoral disputes, which is the Electoral Code. That's really what the framework provides.
Now, when reading through that particular Code of Conduct, among the duties or responsibilities of the parties and candidates is to also inform the public about the Code of Conduct. I mean, I take it that's also quite important and beneficial to yourselves, because then citizens also know what is expected of these political parties and can possibly report them in instances where they violate those very rules. Am I correct?
You are indeed absolutely correct. And again, tomorrow's event is also intended to popularize the code, to give political leaders an opportunity to publicly commit and pledge observance of the code before the public. It's a great opportunity that the Commission creates for leaders to do exactly what you had said, to educate the public about the code and show a public commitment for the observance of the code.
Then on some of the prohibited conduct, there's the offering of inducements, quite controversial, or reward to a person to vote for a particular party. Again, this seems quite straightforward, but can you perhaps take us through or give us a scenario where a gift by a party or official would be seen as an inducement? Because right now there could be door-to-doors. Somebody could decide to offer you perhaps tickets for a game or decide to give you money, saying maybe purchase groceries. Can you just give us a scenario where it would be considered inducement, just so our public fully appreciates?
Yes, it's more often difficult because the line or the color is not always black or white. There are gray situations. However, the peremptory provisions of the code are that inducements may not be made to get people to vote this or the other way. And in that regard, things like money, saying to a person, go vote in this way, and if you did, you're going to receive so much. Or I give so much upfront, and you must go vote in this or the other way. That would be a clear case of inducing a person to vote in one or the other way.
Now, on other matters, we understand that MK will be appealing the objection that was upheld. Can you just take us through the process now that they will undertake?
Yes, indeed. We can confirm that an appeal has been lodged with the Electoral Court. And earlier this evening, we received the directions from the court. We are expected to file an answering affidavit tomorrow, which we will endeavor to do. And MK then has an opportunity to file a reply by Friday, end of business. And then the court will see how they prosecute further the matter.
All right. Mr. Mamabolo, thank you very much for your time this evening. That's IEC CEO Mamabolo speaking to us.